What's going on, everybody? The Phantom, Neo, Jackstar, Green Mix, Tammy, Kicker, Terminator. What up, what up? What happened there? You can do it. There it goes. Anyway, I want to get some, hopefully get a Penta 3 today. Gonna be farming up that new map, trying to get a Penta 3. 3-minute countdown too much for you there, Tammy? I think the norm is 10, but you know, whatever. Super Vega, Tech, what up? Austin, Thrives, Jocillian, going on Quicksilver, Leonard. Anyway, I'm on US West, gonna do some public matches. Only one place to get that staff, sadly. So that's where we're going. So into the keep. So feel free to join me on US West if you want. Let me make sure I'm online. There we go. I am online as well, so you can join me through the Steam group if you choose to do it that way. But here we go. My day's just getting started, really. Yeah, it's all on my channel there, Mill. Posted that up last week, man. New combo is freeze. Gotcha Games, Maxi Hattie, what up? I'm actually working on a Barbarian Onslaught build too. I've got to get some pirate maps in too over the next couple of days. What do we got? Let's see. Just start off with some grinder builds here. Oh. Neo, what up, what up? Got you games. You know what I got a hold of yesterday? I'm kind of excited about that. What's the heck's it? Dawn of Man. That game looks cool. I got a hold of it yesterday. It actually doesn't release until February. Mr. Beast, what up, what up? Let's see here. Well, it's full. There, Gotcha Games. Sadly, you won't be able to make it in. Depending on how the group goes, I'll do like 3 matches and then remake another group, though. What's up, Jamal? I don't give one-on-one help, Mr. Beast. If I did, I wouldn't be able to get anything else done. Nobody wants to drop me no mana, huh? Come on now, people, really? This isn't how I'm going to start the day off, waiting for people to drop mana. Alright. The Monks' defenses are really good. The Squire's defenses are really good. Earth Shatter Tower and Frostbite are 2 of the strongest defenses in the game. So, I mean, you got lots of choices there with just the OG heroes. Get my barb out here. I'll barb it up a little. This is just a absolutely silly crowd control build here that I'm working on. You know, obviously it's going to be for Onslaught. Just ridiculous. Just nothing can move. Just, I'm hoping to get this build actually finished up today. I got a few more mods I'm looking for. But just devastating. I mean, it freezes everything. You got a lot of, I gotta do some pirate maps too. I need another pirate mod. Actually, I'd like to get a couple of samples of a couple different ones, to be honest. Nice trips. Joseph, what up, what up? Yeah, that's how you get gems, Jello. Gems are the premium currency, so it takes real life cash to get them. No, Expeditions is the way to get better gear, Thrives. Onslaught is the worst way to get better gear. So definitely do not go to Onslaught trying to get better gear. You'll get yourself to max C7 gear in Expeditions, and then you want to switch to Onslaught, and none of the gear matters, though. I mean, you still want to look for the perfect, you know, look for the mods. But then it's going to be all about just finding amps, and amps are insanely rare. All the characters are viable for DPS, Mikkel. Play who you like is the best bet. Man, just an absurd amount of grave infections procced up there. You should play whatever hero you like the best, and then find a way to fine-tune that hero to do the DPS that you're looking for. But, I mean, if you want to know the best DPS hero in the game is without a doubt the Monk. It can just blast insane numbers. I wouldn't. Got ya. I would rather use the OG heroes than just use the Abyss Lord and Dryad. So if you're asking me, I mean, why would you just do that? That just doesn't make much sense, to be honest. You'd be better off just going with the 4 original heroes and not using the premium heroes at all, if you wanted to limit yourself. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks, Sir Sebastian. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is really good just how it is. Now, obviously, this is just Chaos 7, but I'd have to try it out in a high Onslaught floor to see what the survivability's like. But this is just ridiculous here. The crowd control and all is just absurd. That's the only problem is assassins. Just face tank everything though. And just heal right through it. Well, gear score, remember the gear score is just used for unlocking the next tier. It doesn't have an effective use in the game. So don't worry about your gear score. I mean, like I said, that's literally only used just to unlock the next chaos tier. So, I mean, that's the only time you should ever worry about it, is when you're trying to get to the next tier. Once you get to Chaos 7 and you get it unlocked, just forget that the champion score number even exists. It has no effective use in Endgame. Nah, well, I got to talk to him there, Doug, but he's in Japan on deployment right now, so didn't get to see him, but I did talk to him. I do have a community for high Onslaught players. You have to be floor 150 or above to get in. The communities are still really, really early. There's not a huge benefit to them yet. It's nice getting a little cross-server chat, but at this point, that's really about all they are. Which, I mean, the cross-server aspect of it, don't get me wrong, I'm still amazed they got that implemented. That's just awesome. God, this is just ridiculous. I didn't expect this to be... This is the first match I've played with this build. I kind of threw this build together last night and this morning. Well, there you go. You're set then, Jamal. I don't even know where I'm at. I think I'm at 280. Definitely not a fan of the hack and slash playstyles, but you cannot deny its effectiveness. That is for dang sure. Just destroys everything. Their mana's supposed to drop on the ground when someone leaves, Doug. Like if I left right now, all that green mana would just drop on the ground. Waiting for the boss. Come on, boss man. The little emblem next to the heroes is their ancient power logo. Sacred shows how many times they've reset ancient power. You guys doing this map, remember, don't just rush over to kill the boss. If there's any bosses out, like Slakelion, you're leaving loot if you don't kill them. Make sure you kill the other stuff first, and then kill the final boss. No coffee this morning. Had to go with a Red Bull. Still not sure how I feel about that. You stun lock on EV2 with the EV2's defenses failing, not with the EV2 as a player. The EV2 has no crowd control. Now you can set their weapons up for electrocute or freeze or whatever. But that is it. Well, if you're farming for gear, that's the worst thing you could do, Jack. You don't want, I mean, you're just hurting yourself for gear, XP, and gold if you don't do your matches public or in a group. I mean, all I'm doing is public matches now. I do private stuff when I'm recording or getting background video, because you never know what somebody's going to say, you know. But all I ever do is public matches now. Can't miss out on all that loot, you know. 4 times the loot. Or is it 6 times? I don't remember. 6 times. Yeah, 6 times the legendary gear and chest plus the XP bonus is just huge. Barb out a little more here. I don't have a shot type video, but shot types are easy to understand. The number of the weapon, like I'm looking for a Penta 3, the 1, 2, or 3. The 1, 2, or 3 represent how fast the weapon fires. The name of the weapon represents how many projectiles it is. So if it's a triple, then it's 3 projectiles. If it's a penta, then it's 5 projectiles. If it's a single, then it's 1, and so on and so on. If it's a 1 from like Penta 1, then it's 2 shots per second. If it's a 2, then it's 2.5 shots per second. If it's a 3, it's 4 shots per second. Man, just everything's insta-cubed. You can really put any mods on slimes. Remember that your defenses are more about the shards than the mods. Once you get the shards that you want in it, then put anything, you know, literally. The game is not balanced for mods. It's designed with shards in mind, not mods. So any mod that you put on is going to make your defense stronger. But you don't need any mods to beat the game. You know, to go through and get yourself to the end, and Chaos 7 requires no mods. So it's all about the shards, you know. This is borderline ridiculous here with this barb. Yeah, melee boom's great. Like I said, any mod will add to your defense. So I mean, until you start pushing into like Onslaught floor 150 plus, fine-tuning the mods is just not required. You know, put what you got. You know, don't sweat it. If you got the shards, go through, progress through the game, get yourself to Chaos 7, and then once you're decked out in Chaos 7 gear, then start making decisions on best in slot mods. The benefit about booms is, well, they're particularly strong early, the earlier in the game you are. In addition to that, it procs the weapon shards. So drenching strikes, burning strikes, the weapon mods, banjacks, all that stuff. Booms proc all that. Just grind it out there, Noah. Mikhail, thank you so much. I do appreciate it a ton. God, this is just absurd. I didn't expect it to be this effective. But it's 100% proc chance. All you gotta do is hit him. It's just ridiculous. Shame I don't like playing this way. This is what I have to resort to, folks, when they give us crappy polearm stats. I was so excited about the polearms drops to come, and then the polearms are junk. It's like, ah, really? Oh well, it's there's what, 32 shards in Chaos 4. So each time you would have a 1 in 32 chance, which means you'd have to do 100 plus runs, or open 100 plus shard packs to give yourself a 99% chance of getting one. I think it was like 120 something. Noon Pacific time. There, I love bacon, and then I stream later on at Twitch. On the Twitches. That's just RNG and how it works there, Marcel. First off, how many times you've done Ancient Power doesn't affect your loot in any way. You get a million Ancient Power resets, you have the same drop chances as everybody else. But RNG is RNG, you know. It's random. Exclamation next hero in chat there, Zeltux. We'll give you a link to Lightrayne's premium hero analysis, which will give you some good insight. Just double jump. Yeah, like we got Slakelion here, so you'd want to kill Slakelion before you kill the last boss, because Slakelion's got loot, you know? So you don't want to pass up on the loot. Going on there, Gobu. Here, I'll get it. It's like Nightbot's on the snooze today. Oh, there it is. Anyway, that will give you some good insight into what hero to get next there, Zeltux. Look that over. And that should answer any questions you have. I don't know. I don't know about the Ancient Power, Jamal, because currently Ancient Power is too far gone to be a real prestige system. So whatever they do to it will either make you insanely, absurdly overpowered, or it will be just a lateral change. They should have made Onslaught, or made Ancient Power a true prestige system like other games would do, where everything gets reset, but you have a bigger reward for doing it. So, you know, if you do a reset, you should be getting reset. You should lose everything. But you should have a very, very hefty reward for doing that. So now we got this mixed up Onslaught system where some stuff resets, some stuff doesn't. I mean, for Ancient Power to be really effective, it would have to have a complete overhaul. It would have to be a completely new system, and people will just rage about that. You know people are going to rage about that. I don't know. I feel for Trendy in that department. Because they got a system that no matter what... Well, I guess no matter what you do, nobody's ever... Not everyone is always going to be happy with it. That's just life. But they've got a system right now where it's going to be like a 50-50 split. Exclamation spotlights in chat. You can see the ones I use. Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to take away things that people use gems on. SciTech, holy crap. Thank you so much, SciTech. Wow. I do appreciate it a ton. But that's, yeah, I mean, that's another one of the problems, is you've got premium things like the pets. I mean, first off, the pets in DD2 are not... It's all about the pet ability. So the pet doesn't really matter. So allowing somebody to keep a premium pet, as far, you know, it's 99% vanity, with the exception of, like, Autumn Meow. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm sure Elandrian and Java Hawk will come up with something, and they're the new creative team. So, yep. I thought we were waiting for another one. I hit G thinking it was the build phase. I think DD1 had awesome pets. I loved the pets in DD1. I mean, I wouldn't complain a bit if some of those pets made a return. So much for the win streak bonus. You guys know not to replay from wave on this map. If you do screw up like that, if you replay from wave, you don't get the special weapons in the box. So don't replay from wave, because they're 100% drop chance. But if you replay, then they won't be. I'm gonna do my inventory real quick while we're waiting for people to join. Let's see. Nothing good there. Well, the smart players in DD1 lock that stuff, so you can put it on the floor to show your stuff off. But nobody can steal it. I had an active player shop going in DD1 about nonstop. Many hours a day. Ooh, what do we got? A last stand ship, really? Well, it's 10, so I can't complain. Sadly, I'm going to keep that too, just in case. Sadly, I just got a last stand ship yesterday on the same weapon. Not really. It's pretty basic, Noah. The best shards in the game are the same ones on every defense. And you know what? I think that was the one I got yesterday. Maybe I didn't go through my inventory and clean it up. I mean, start off every defense with destruction, defense rate, and deadly strikes, and then swap stuff out from there if you want to swap anything. But yeah, every defense in the game, you know, and you will find reasons to swap the stuff out. But that's just like a base starting point. I actually wish there was a little bit more versatility with the effectiveness, but it's just, those are it. Those are the go-tos, you know. I don't know. I haven't gotten 300 tokens yet again to test it, Mario. To be honest with you, I did a bunch of rerolls, so I didn't have, my self-control is not there. I'll get up to 100 tokens and I'll start rerolling stuff. But as soon as I get like 300 tokens, I'm gonna test that. But it could be a while, sadly. No, mine, the first one is consumables and crafting materials. Now this, I throw all this stuff that I'm playing with today, I throw all over here. So like there's a few different relics and a few different weapons, but this bag is mainly, well, it's all consumable items. So shards and crafting mats. Then I go relics. Then I go armor and weapons. Then I've got kind of a mixed bag. And then these are my 3 dump bags. And then this one is stuff that I don't want to get rid of. I think we good, right? Missing a 4th. That's alright. God, so absurdly strong. I'm anxious to test this out in Onslaught. I want to get me Penta 3 though before I stop farming this map for the week. Which, I mean, I probably won't stop farming it. The way they did the rotation on this map, I love it. You do the map till you get the weapons you want each week, and then don't do this map anymore. That way it doesn't grind you out. Unless you're forced to in Onslaught. I actually haven't done an Onslaught floor in days. It's like 2 million gold, 40 plain motes, 50 shiny motes, 4 shiny clusters, and then 1 of each amp. Jink. I mean, you don't have to do just the weapon, man. Do whatever defense you want, but yeah, you should only do 1. That way you don't spend all your materials. Because you'll get back more than what you spent if you only do 1. So it's renewable, you know. Well, I mean, the clusters you may not, but as far as the motes go, you'll get back what you spent. No, I got The max you can have is 8 Quicksilver. Trendy took all those bags away from people. Yeah, cross-platform would be awesome. I think every game should have cross-platform. Every co-op game. I mean, I can see the reasons not to in a competitive game, but every co-op game should have cross-platform in my mind. It would only make the game better, you know? Well, if you're just getting the tokens, Hugo, then the resort map is going to be a little bit quicker. But if you're looking to get the unique weapons as well, then you have to do this map. But it's only the 2 maps that have it, you know? Soul Worker. I've got lots of games to try right now. I was a little disappointed with Raft. I played Raft a little while yesterday. It's definitely got the basics of being a really fun survival game, but the problem is it's not... There's no end goal. The only challenge is to survive, and surviving is just not a challenge. Is one of the problems with Raft. I was actually excited about playing it, and then I just realized how meh it was turning into really quickly. I'm gonna try out that Dawn of Man game tonight. I got access, a little early access to their game. It doesn't release until February, but it looks good. I play all the heroes, really, Bizak. I mean, I almost never play the Barbarian. But, I mean, I play every hero. My favorites are the Monk and the EV2. You know, no secret there, and the Gunwitch. But I try to play all of them at some point. What's going on there, ghosts? Whatever, Drakenlord. My favorite game from this year? That's a tough call. They Are Billions, that released in 2018, didn't it? Or was that 2017? Wasn't that earlier, 2018? I really liked that one. I mean, as far as games that released this year, it's hard to say. The DPS of the Barb is actually not that strong compared to the heroes I normally play. The DPS is considerably lower, but there's a lot of crowd control that you don't get from the other heroes. Well, I mean, you get better crowd control from like the Abyss Lord or whatever, but this is definitely a strong build. If you're not getting into it, then just play something else there, Bezart. Nothing wrong with that. You gotta play whatever's fun, you know? If you're not having fun in any game, you shouldn't be playing it. I got very strong opinions on that. DD2 isn't the first game any of us played, and it certainly won't be the last game any of us play, you know? So you gotta play what you're enjoying at the time. It's worth it if you do it a bunch of times, Mario. It's not really worth it if you're only going to do it once or twice, in my opinion. If you're going to go through it a bunch, then yeah, definitely worth it. But that's just committing to, you know, that's committing to what could be an absurd grind. No other bosses. Chaos 1, just spam Flame Auras. There, Bezot. Throw down a wall and spam Flame Auras up the lane. Easy peasy. Just each Chaos tier, you gotta look at the mob that's being introduced and make sure you're building to match that mob. Oh, there's a accumulator servo. 10 out of 10. Actually, I already got one, but I'll take it. Second, I can set up a second wall now. Nah, they changed it. Bandit killer. They took it out. You can still do it really quick. I mean, doing an ancient power reset now is like ungodly faster than what it used to be. Even on the high end. Like the worst it can be is go from floor 50 to 80. And that's just way, way quicker than what it used to be. I've got one of those already. But, I mean, I'm not complaining about being able to set up a second wall. A refund. Bartek's just trolling. The accumulator servo is really good. Your ascension completely does not affect your progression in any way, Bezot. When you go to Chaos 2, you gotta switch, you gotta look at the enemy that's coming. So the special enemy for Chaos 2 is the Cyborg, which disabled ground traps, R's, and nodes. So in Chaos 2, you don't use ground traps, R's, and nodes. In Chaos 1, traps, R's, and nodes work great. In Chaos 2, they don't. So you have to change your defense, is the only thing. Chaos 2, you want to focus on projectile towers. Get some PDTs, cannonballs, flamethrowers. I mean, flamethrowers aren't a projectile, but you know what I mean. Get anything that's labeled as tower. Chaos 3, you can switch back to traps, R's, and nodes. I mean, it's the strategy aspect of the game. I mean, it is a strategy game, you know. That is the strategy aspect. Oops. Missed a node. Was hoping to get one of those stupid swords by now, but got a pole arm that time. Let's see, where was that accumulator servo? Nothing but junk besides that. Well, a note to Chaos tier, do you want to use only one tower? So in Chaos 2, I personally would use cannonballs, poison dart towers, and flamethrowers. Skyguard towers. You know, mix it up. You never want to use only one thing. If you're using only one thing, you're automatically nerfing yourself. Earth Shatters work great. Yeah, just big old ice cubes. Look at all the grave infections. One of the reasons why I'm pushing the grave infection so much on this build is you're CCing a lane by creating a complete roadblock, and those grave infections, pardon me, they crit for over 3 mil, or right at 3 mil, depending on the quality of it. Yeah, the Ramsters are actually one of the 2 defenses that have no counter in the game until you get to Chaos 7. So Ramsters can be really good. Archers should be better than they are, but I still think there's a range problem with Archers. Trendy needs to give up a little bit more range on those things. Why not? They're cool. I'm trying to put together a new Barbarian build. I'm gonna do another hero spotlight here in the next day or two, once I get this thing all fine-tuned. I mean, if you like hack and slash, you guys know I prefer ranged characters. But if you like hack and slash, the Barb is where it's at. There's no doubt. It is the best hack and slash character out there. You want to go as high as you can there, Martin, but you definitely want to be over 250. So get yourself to at least 250, but the higher you go, the easier your transition will be, you know? Oops. Take that off, then do my spinny. I might try an Onslaught map on the bar before the stream's over here. Yeah, if you want to gift somebody gems, you gift them the DLC packs through Steam. You can do that very easily. Yeah, there's no cap. You can keep going as high as you want there, Mario. I mean, it becomes a point where, you know, I mean, in my opinion, if you do it, if you AP more than 70 times, I mean, what benefit are you really getting out of that? You know, it's very, very slim. I personally wouldn't do an AP reset just for the golden XP, but I know a lot of people would do. To me, that just seems like a waste of time. So, I mean, once you get to 70, I mean, your first milestone is getting to the 999 ascension caps. Once you're at 999 ascension caps, the benefit you get from AP gets decreased drastically. Then you're only getting an AP point and the gold and XP bonuses. Yeah, I'll be leaving after this one. We got somebody full-blown AFK, refusing to hit G. If you don't have any, in my opinion, the best hero to buy would be the EV, but that's just an opinion. Everybody's got one, you know. Oh, well, you could go anti-frost. The problem with Ramsters is you're not going to get anywhere near the range cap with just a Deadly Strike Shard. It's got terrible, terrible range scaling. So Ramster's range is very beneficial to you. If you don't need the range, then the best thing to go would be Fire, Anti-Frost, and Anti-Orc. But I personally would always take range, just because I want to get those Ramsters hitting as far out as possible. Any of the wall shards, Hugo. Walls are kind of generic now. The same shards would go in everything. You know, whatever of the wall shards you get, you know. Accumulator servo is good, fortification's good. Or wall mods, pardon me. So there's kind of a set selection of wall mods, and you know, that's basically just what we got as far as walls go. Malls with that big health scaling, though, it make you wonder if you would, you know, you almost have to go for it just to take advantage of the big wall health, you know. Oh, there you go. Then you've already got the answer there, Hugo. To see what happens here. I think it actually looked like that last time that the loot from the bosses was dropping anyway. We got no other bosses. Do I have fire servo on? Nah, I don't have fire on anything that I'm using here now. I mean, obviously the flame auras are fired up by default. The only thing I put fire on outside of my normal build is Ramsters right now. Now, I did play around with some fire weapon manufacturers for Frost lanes, and they did really bad. I think not being able to upgrade them hurt them. You know, you'll find with Ramsters, Fishers, everything, it's always a little sketchy in Wave 1. That's the Burning Strike shard. Just go over and hit it. Or you can use oil and fire. That works too. But Burning Strikes is only one shard slot, obviously. Where oil and fire would require 2 mod slots. Let's see what we got here first. And a tang, and a tang. Doesn't look like it. You have to upgrade Ramsters on high Onslaught Partech or you won't win. Tier 1 Ramsters don't cut it. Their DPS is too low compared to Fishers and other things. If you don't upgrade them, you just won't win. I mean, if you're using a bunch of other stuff in the map, but you have to. Alright. The guy that was AFK that whole match sends me a friend request. Come on, dude, really? I just not gonna do it. Not having it. Power transfer is not completely worthless, but it's situational. It lost a lot of its value. There's no doubt there. I'm using power transfer if on lightning strike auras or cannonballs when I'm using a boost aura. If I'm not using a boost aura, I don't use power transfer. If I am using a boost aura, then I will. Did I get my tree, my present? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I got a legendary one too. Nice. Let's see what's in my defender pack. Don't need any of that, but I can use one of these. What do we got? 3 duplicates. Let's re-roll it. Hope for something better. Oh, well, I got a new one. There's a gilded patch. That's at least something I don't have. And mechanoid exhaust I already have, but that's one of the newest items. But, or no, that is a duplicate. Dang it. All dupes. Alright. I ain't re-rolling 2,000. Or am I? I am. What the hell? Why not? What's a few defender medals, right? There we go. Legendary. What is it? Oh, yes! Is that the ground one? Oh, please tell me that's the ground one. That's perfect for the Barbarian. with his shark fin. Oh, please, please, please be the ground flare. It is. Yes! Finally, I got me some piranhas. I wanted the sharks, but I'll take the piranhas. That juice head flare does not go with this at all. Jade, I stream as soon as I wake up. You might want to try the later streams then on Twitch instead of the early stream. There is no earlier than this for me. This is actually extremely early for me. I love that flare. You need to check out my guides and tutorials playlist there, Bezok. Yep, got them fishes. Sven, thank you so much for subscribing. I do appreciate you. Alright, let me try Onslaught on the Barb here real quick. I want to see how this goes. I don't have it fine-tuned. This is what I want. The controller chip can go, and this crit damage chip can go. And what I'd like to have in place of those is that pirate chip that heals based off of damage that you do. And I'm not even sure what I would use to replace the controller chip. The controller chip is working, so there's no reason to pull it off. I'll leave it there till last, because that's 39% boost in damage with my secondary weapon. Yeah, let's give it a shot. It's based on your playstyle there, Zion. You're going to get bigger numbers using ability power Barbarian, but if you want just pure hack and slash survivability unkillable, then hero damage works great. This is a hero damage build that I'm working on. Alright, let's see. Floor 281. Let's give it a whirl with see how this barb does. You gotta light them on fire there, got you. You gotta ignite them. So using either the burning strike shards or oil and fire. Just realized you woke up at 1 p.m. That's fair. Alright, what do we got? Omega Squad Theta. Proximity Kamikazes. We got a Headstrong lane up there. Thank you so much for subscribing there, Ewan. EMP Kamikazes here. Alright, let's see. Go 3 Sky Guards to cover both lanes. Hopefully that will cover it. Tempted to throw a Poison Dart Tower in too. I think I will. Get a PDT in the mix here too for those flyers. And then what do we got here? Abominable, Soft Spot. Let's see. Let's just go something like that. I like getting the fire out to the edge of the weapon mans. It's not quite there, but it's close enough. For farming the Draken weapons, I'm just using Spam and Flamars for the most part. I mean, I throw weapon mans into for the AFK value. Alright, we got EMP healers. Headstrong lethargic. Alright, so I want... Do we have any Gobus? There's no goblins in there. I think I might just build back here. See if we can get something in where these cyborgs won't hit it. I think I'm gonna have to just watch this lane. I tell you what, I could throw a ballista down here, huh? Let's actually do that. Let's get rid of this stuff. Is just gonna get stunned. That stuff's got a greater chance of survivability, and then we'll throw a ballista down here. Sorry, Gobu. Sometimes you just need a little Gobu boom in your life, you know? I have a weapon, or yeah, I got this all set up. Let's do that. What do we have here? Sigard Womps. Lots of Gobus here. Move it back just a little. That's too far. Let's see. Let's get some Gobu booming going on. Sorry, Gobu. Gotta happen. And that leaves me 210 for Frost Vanguard Womps. Thanks there, Best Pirate Daily. Merry Christmas to you as well. No towers will take his shield off. Got you. You got to do it yourself. Alright, now we got Longshot here, which makes this a good Ramster lane with the Frost mobs, but we've also got 60 regular shieldies, and Ramsters are going to be kind of meh against them. But Longshot will help. And then we got maximum effort, so we want different sources of damage. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's go... We'll just put one Weapon Man node down for the stun. You know what, let's not go with the Gobu booms here. Or actually, do we want to? There's a lot of goblins. It's almost all goblins. So yeah, let's go with the Gobu boom. And then we got that maximum effort, so let's get a Ramster down. And that leaves me 70 left. Could go with a ballista down here too. Now hopefully I'm able to just watch that top lane. Where's the Barb at? Where'd you go, Barb? You go campaign, then adventure, and then you can decide. Then decide whether you want to go expeditions or onslaught. Well, I mean, it's clearly holding this lane. Frozen mobs can't hit you. I don't even think I've been hit once. This is ridiculous. I mean, I almost need a fisher or something up here. Just so there's some more damage while I spawn camp them. I'm going to set that up. Oh, there we go, finally. Still get one shot. Oh wow, it's kobolds that are one-shotting me, alright. I was gonna say, I wasn't expecting any of these melee mobs to do it. We're gonna get overrun here. Sadly. Nope, I didn't. Thought for sure I would get overrun. That ballista held out. Good ballista. So it's the kobolds one-shotting me here, so there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do about that. I mean, I could fight them over here further. And I can just smash faces. Exclamation spotlights, they're best pirate. You can go through and pick the defense you want. Let's see, let's get these flyers. This flyer control upped. Alright, here we go. We're going to watch the flyers this time. Well, yeah, this is officially ridiculous. Just insane amounts of crowd control. Making big ice cubes everywhere. Yeti's coming down from below. I should go give him a little attention, huh? How you like being ice cubed, Yeti? It ain't nice, is it? Huh? Oh, he got me, but I got him too. Poison is not an element currently. I mean, Elandrian mentioned that one specifically. What would poison fire do? So, I mean, there's more combos coming. But as it stands right now, poison doesn't interact with anything else. We're all good here. Upgrade this one so I don't have to come down here anymore. It's based off your play style there, Velfox. If you want to play it as hack and slash, then hero damage does great. If you want to use the Barb's abilities more, then you're going to want to stick with ability power. It depends on you and how you play it. Gotta let these guys out just a little. The thing that makes freeze so strong is it overwrites. So enemies that can't be slowed, the new mod will slow them. Enemies that can't be stunned, well, as you see, these enemies can't be stunned, yet they're still being frozen. So it overwrites those mutators, and that's one of the things that makes this type of setup just really, really strong. I'm gonna Drakenlord down below. As soon as he pops out, I'm just gonna monk him. Oop, can't monk him. Gonna have to switch to monk as soon as I can. What the heck? Why am I not resin? There we go. There we go. Just crazy, crazy strong. The icon under my health bar is my ancient power icon. You're talking about like that square icon, that's crane stance on the monk. That's any buffs that the hero has. So like on the monk it's crane stance. On the barbarian it depends on which stance you're in. That would be the siphon stance and lightning stance. How to farm Onslaught? Do the map over and over again. I mean, what do you mean, how do you farm Onslaught? Just the same way you'd farm anything else. You do it over and over and over and over. There's nothing to farm in Onslaught except C8 amps, though. So that's not where you'd want to farm unless you're just at the point in the game where there's nothing else for you to do. Am I going to make it? Oof, just barely. All the assassins gone. For the moment, anyway. Yeah, this is just insanely powerful. And I lost a PDT. Oh, the Flyers did that. Still getting one shot by bosses, even at 2.1 million health. That makes me want to stop stacking health on the monk. Because I know I'm not going to get past the point. Onslaught farming is a thing. I farm Onslaught all the time. But the only thing there to farm is Chaos 8 amps. Which have a ridiculously low drop rate, so it's kind of a waste of time, to be honest with you. If you're going to farm Onslaught, you want to farm floor 85. I did a video about that. If you're not at floor 85 yet, then you just want to climb till you get to the point where you're at floor 85. Go ahead and jack that one up. I don't think I'm going to bother with that PDT. Well, you didn't get them from Onslaught, though, Your Majesty. You got them from Chaos 4 shard packs. Onslaught has nothing to do with it. That just happens to be where you got the shard packs. The problem with trying to farm shards in Onslaught is, other than the tier that you're currently in, it's random what packs you're going to get. And then as far as farming gear, there's just not as much gear in Onslaught as there is in Expeditions. Making Onslaught farming kind of a waste of time. This is definitely quite the ice cube maker, though. No doubt about it. I mean, you gotta back off and let the mobs come out. You know? It's too effective. Well, it's not that it's hard. It just requires luck. There's no difficulty in it. It's a luck thing. Uh-oh. What happened there? Had to have been flyers. Amps just have a really low chance to drop, so it's not about there being any difficulty in getting amps. It's about you just have to be lucky enough for it to drop for you. I did 170 floors without getting one, and then I got 2 in 10 floors. So I mean, it's just full RNG, full on RNG, you know? You either got lucky or you didn't. Well, that was too damn easy. No, you can't use the packs a second time. There, Sync. Yeah, I got another Defender pack. That's awesome. Good one, too. Could crack that bad boy open. Maybe I'll get lucky and get me some shark fins. Some swirly shark fins for the feet now, huh? I would say if you got one in 30 hours, you got really lucky there, Kyre. Most people would say it took them way longer than 30 hours. They're ridiculously rare. I mean, shards, getting the right shards you want is literally the worst grind in the game. No doubt about it. Alright, what's in that bad boy? Cool runnings. Well, it's new. Gotta take it, right? It's an item I don't have. I don't even know what that is, though. I'm gonna have to look. Oh, it's just barely noticeable. It's like just a little particle effect around the feet. Huh. I'll stick with my piranhas. Nah, it's not worth just going to 30 and doing back-to-back resets, Strange. The whole point of doing resets is to get yourself to the ascension caps. So you want to get these to 999. That's the whole point. These guys here. You want to get those to 999. You get that through... not through spamming resets. You get that through pushing more Onslaught floors. So what you want to ask yourself is, how many ancient power points do you want? You got 70 possible points here. How many do you want? Well, if you only want 10 of them, then push really high in Onslaught. Or not even really high, but get up to, you know, 110, 115, 120 or whatever. You do that, you're only going to have to reset 10 times, and you're going to be at those high ascension caps. But say you want all 70 of the points. If you want all 70, then you will just want to get your minimum ascension to 250 and then just start spamming resets. To get to 250, you would have to get to about floor 50 the first time. Well, I think you answered your own question there, Random. Step 1 would be to level up. If you're not level 50 yet, you can't expect to do the level 50 content. Your ascension doesn't matter, if that's what you're referring to. Once your ascension is once you get past the point where you have the basics in ascension, well, that's a bad example. Where you got defense crit chance, defense crit damage. Once you get past the point where you have these, the rest of the ascension is like a negligible difference. When you put the points in, you'll barely even notice that the points were spent there. Yep, there's a giveaway going on my channel right now. There, Ross. I don't do giveaways during YouTube streams because YouTube doesn't have a messaging service that everyone knows how to use. But there's a giveaway going right there. Biggest DD2 giveaway that's ever happened from any source, in fact. So if y'all aren't signed up for that, you need to do it. Anyway, let's get back in and get that stupid staff. Why do I have a feeling this is going to take me a million runs to get this thing? So once again, I'm on US West, Chaos 7. Feel free to join me if you want to. Because the game wouldn't be able to handle it. There, Your Majesty. You would rubber band around the map because the game couldn't communicate your movement fast enough. Is what would happen, basically. It's alright. Nothing wrong with the Dryad. I was actually going to do Dryad builds today. I think I'll do that tomorrow. Because I'm going to have to farm this map to get the weapon I want. So I think I'll do Dryad builds tomorrow. Or maybe over on Twitch later. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a Twitch stream yet. I'll be honest, yesterday being Christmas, I was a little bit too festive. I ate like an absolute pig. I had more eggnog than any one human being should take in one day. So I'm not quite 100% here today. You know what I mean? Just go into dirt mode now. I don't do only builds there, Your Majesty. Doing one defense, nothing could get more boring to me. That and like, we know explosive traps don't hit air, so that would mean that we would have to run back and kill all the air, which is just not fun. To me, it's just not fun. Bobby Boo in 92 is here. Casper Dixon. The problem we have on holidays is it's just the two of us now, you know. My mom and my sister's in Brussels. My mom's goes back and forth between Belfast and Washington, D.C. Our son is in Japan on deployment in the military. So there's two of us now, and with the holidays it's so easy to go overboard on the cooking, you know. I'm still boycotting Ramsters Partech, or archers, I mean. Archers need range. Why, oh why, is Treddy refusing to give archers any range? I have no idea. They would be such a wonderful defense. I mean, it would be one of my favorite defenses in the game. It was before. Not putting range on them is just wrong. But yeah, a couple disappointments this week for sure. The monk weapon from this map is just terra bad. And then the EV2 not getting a selection of weapons is just terra bad. Trendy doesn't watch many streams, I don't think, anymore. Partech. Mark used to lurk them quite frequently, and Danny, I think Danny still lurks them every now and then. And Elandrian pops in on Twitch now and then. He won't come to YouTube though. They're Chaos 8 Flame Auras there, Ross. Doing Chaos 8 and Chaos 7 and Chaos 8 gear. It's not, there is zero challenge. This is just a farm. Just a straight up grind for the weapons. You know? Nothing difficult here at all. The Penta, a Penta 3 will be ridiculous crowd control. Yep, exclamation GW there, Gabriel. Yeah, you get this map every one that ends in 9. So 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, and so on will be this map every time. Let's see. You have to go to the cosmetics tab there, Bonilla. I can't do it mid-wave here. Yep, water now drenches. They're strange. That's the only one they changed, though. But yep, they changed it so water drenches. Indeed. I'm not done with you baddies yet. We're gonna barb out on y'all. Just how it is. I could see using the Barbarian more often. I would rather have double jump than that, his little right click jump that he does though. I'd rather have double jump all day, in fact. I had to make a bunch of them. There's not enough slots. Only being able to hold 30 slots. Then again, I'd probably still have 5, even if they could hold 500 slots, so I can't really say that. Yep, and exclamation spotlights. Gabriel, it's one of the last defense spotlights I did, was water on weapon mans. It works very, very well. Works real good. Everything's dying too quick here. I can't even get any shots off. Plague and Hawk, though. I can get shots off on him. Nah. Sadly, that would be really awesome if you could, Lucas, but sadly that's not a thing. I actually want to do it the other way. If I could copy my... Even if it was only a one-time thing, if I could copy my account over from PC to PS4 and Xbox, I would do PS4 Xbox streams all the time. Even if it was like a one-time copy, I would be so stoked about that. Warframe allowed it, trendy. WTF, man. Warframe just released on Switch. And when they came out on Switch, they allowed it to people to copy over their PC accounts to Switch and keep their old PC account. Get with the times, trendos. I always recommend the EV2 personally there, Zomboss. What the hell, man? The staff is just not going to drop, is it? I must have a canister in there somewhere and I just can't see it. Yep, there it is, yep. Got another McDougars. I've got one Chaos 8 item on my heroes. I got the polearm on my monk is Chaos 8. But that's it. Everything else is Chaos 7. I did that just so I could get more hero health. Yeah, the frame rate on console is just bad on some maps. It drops on PC too. I mean, with the PC I've got, I should never have any kind of frame rate drops in a game with the graphics like this. Because these are not demanding graphics by any means, you know. At least it's a pretty map. You know, if you're going to have one map that you're grinding every week, at least it's a good looking one. Now hopefully they add in another map like this with rotating items. That would be really cool. And then you'd have 2 different maps to grind every week. Uh-oh. I personally would get the Gun Witch, but I like ranged heroes built more. So, if you like ranged heroes more, get the Gun Witch. If you like melee heroes more, get the Barbarian. That's the easiest question to answer in the world right there. This is all about what you want, you know? See, on PC, you get to see it at some maps where you're running 140 frames per second, and then you load into another map, and like if you're looking this way, it's 100 frames per second, and if you look that way, it's 40. You know, so you see the extreme end of the graphics drop. The worst for me is, I think, is without a doubt, Little Horn Valley. Little Horn Valley, for me, if I'm looking in certain directions, the frame rate will drop like all the way down to like 50, 60 frames. I do like 120 million DPS on my Gun Witch when I'm spamming. Well, 120 on the high side. It drops down to like 50, 60 million when none of my cooldowns are up. The reflect is extremely useful. The boost is kind of lacking. I mean, it's still usable, but it's lacking. Just go to that Spotlights playlist, everybody. Anyone who has specific questions, go to the Spotlights playlist. It's got all the stuff lined out for you, and you can pick the hero that you want, or the defense or hero. The Barbarian is not a big number. I mean, I've gotten really big one-shots with that Hawk Strike on the Barb. You can get those up over 100 million. But that's not the best use of the Barb, is the thing. If you're looking for big one-shot damage, then just play the Monk. It's the best in the game. Many, many, many times over. If that's what your concern is to try to get a big one-shot number. I love one-shot in bosses, so that's one of the reasons I love the Monk so much. What about Mastery there, Hugo? Yeah, sadly, floor 45's it. No, no reward past floor 45. Hopefully they change that down the road, you know. That's one of the reasons a lot of people don't like climbing Onslaught, just because there's a serious lack of rewards. The loot's terrible, the gold's terrible, the XP is terrible, and there's no rewards. Your only reason to climb Onslaught is either if you're a leaderboard junkie and you want to see your name on the leaderboards, or if you're trying to grind out Chaos 8 amps. That's literally the only reasons to do Onslaught. And that's a problem. Just look through my playlist, Hugo. There's thousands of DD2 guides on my channel, literally. Several thousand. I haven't done Mastery in a long time, and Mastery now is easy mode compared to what it was before. So you can look through those old videos and see how I did it the hard way. Every one of them is there, though. Every map. Nah, I haven't gotten it yet, quick. Still waiting. I'm sure it'll take all day. Or all week, for that matter. I do Onslaught because people say they want to see Onslaught. I mean, you gotta remember, I love DD2, but the reason I stream and play DD2 every day is because people want to watch it. So, I've got to do what people want to see. It's my job, you know? The channel is just not big enough for me to play whatever I want. So, people want Onslaught, I gotta do Onslaught. That's just how it is. That's life. I mean, I would love to get all of my stuff all decked out in Chaos 8 gear. I would completely love that, but the realism says Chaos 8 amps just don't drop. So shy of literally putting thousands of hours into it, I'm just not going to have I'm not even going to have one hero that's full Chaos 8. I mean, it will literally take me thousands of hours. I mean, Trendy needs to address that in some way. I really think so. They're just ridiculously rare. And the problem is since it is so RNG dependent, yeah, you'll get all the people out there that just like to argue that'll say, oh, but I got 6 of them yesterday. It's like, yeah, that's called, first off, extreme cases. And for every extreme case of good drops, there's someone that has an extreme case of bad drops. So, I mean, I literally went 170 floors without seeing a Chaos 8 amp. That alone is completely ridiculous. Now, I did get 2 amps in the next 10 floors after that, but happened to go over 170 floors for one. That's just absurdity. I've got gems from that DLC that was on sale. The winter gem pack or whatever it was called. I bought that. That's how I got gems. I've only got 1,200. I spent most of them. Not like I've got that many. What's going on, Icos? How you doing? It only drops once, sadly, there, Hugo. That's one of the problems with Mastery, is if there was... Same thing there. It's all down to the reward. You know, we've got content to play. We've got stuff to grind. What we don't have is a reason to grind. Like, Mastery mode is tons and tons of hours of gameplay that no one has any reason at all to do more than once. So, I mean, if there was more rewards for Mastery, if there was better rewards for Onslaught, without changing anything else to the game, just changing the reward system, I think it would encourage people to play the game more. I really do. Somebody thought you were Santa Claus? Tell him, Quicksilver. Say, that's right. Santa's day off. I had to work hard. Leave me alone. Hey. I don't have a DLC hero to give, Russ. You want to provide one? I'd be more than happy to give it. I don't work for Trendy. I don't have unlimited access to things. They don't just give me things. I mean, I get the monthly stuff for being in the Casters Guild, And those are all structured giveaways. I don't just have things just laying around to give out. If that was the case, I wouldn't whine about not having the cosmetics so much. Alright, well there's a staff. Ah, Penta 2. So close. Needs me a Penta 3, dang it. Needs Penta 3. Once, or Expeditions is where you farm, Blaz. You got a monk, don't you, Ross? That is the coolest hero in the game. I'd be fine with that. Oh, I'd agree with you there 100% there, Dragon. The game is definitely a little on the grindy side. It's the grindiest game I've ever played, in fact. I've never grinded this much in a game ever. I mean, even like getting rare mounts and stuff in World of Warcraft. I've gotten like all the rare mounts and stuff in the amount of time I've played DD2. Yeah, I'd have to agree there, Jade. I like it as well. What's going on, Carnage? How you doing? No, there's no such thing as a one-shot Mystic. Mystic can't get numbers that big. The Mystic is the master of lane control. So you can't have the best of both worlds, basically. Do you want crowd control? Or do you want one-shot power? You know, you can't have both. I guess you can with the Barbarian. But besides the Barbarian, you just can't have both. We all built? No, there's some mana sitting somewhere. Somebody doesn't want to give it up. Yep, there's several varieties there, Ross. Exclamation nuke in chat. We'll get you a link. Early game, you really don't need any heroes, Bonilla. If you were gonna get one, I would say the EV2, because the EV2 is going to directly help your progression. Reflect beams are a direct counter to Chaos 6. And then if you get lucky and find a Shocking Revelations mod, weapon manufacturers make all of the content trivial. As far as leveling up, it's just a matter of going through the jumping through the hoops, you know. He's probably got the correct shard setups there, Pure Madness. Your shards are crucial. So I mean, without the proper shard setups, you're heavily nerfing yourself. No, the mods are there, still there, but the item gets set back to campaign, so you have to level the item back up. What's going on there, Mia Culpa? How you doing? That's why you don't, if you plan on doing ancient power resets, you don't even want to worry about fine-tuning a mod set until you're done with it. That way you don't have to spend a million hours farming all the crafting materials to level all your stuff back up to Chaos 7, you know? The walls are walls. There you go. They all do the same thing. The same basic purpose is there on all of them. I personally prefer the Mystic walls over other walls. But that's just it's just a personal preference. Use whatever wall you want. Exclamation spotlights in chat there, Ross. We'll get you a link to all the heroes. Or Pure Madness, pardon me. It's all personal favorites. There's no best. See, that gives you a link to Lightrayne's premium hero analysis. And this is my Hero Spotlights playlist. So between those two, you can really learn everything in the game. Pretty much, hero related. Well, I mean, if you're concerned about CC, then you would use a wall that has CC, Hugo. The Maul does have CC, but it's not as effective CC as some of the others. And in exchange for that, the Maul's got a bazillion health. So, I mean, that's like saying you're going to take a gun witch, yet if she goes and punches things, it doesn't do any damage. Well, you're not using the correct thing for the task that you're trying to get it to do. If you want CC, then you have to use a CC wall. If you want massive health, then you use a massive health wall. You know, you have to pick that. You can't turn a CC wall into a massive health wall, and you can't turn a massive health wall into a CC wall. It just doesn't work like that. Well, it's nice that they're cheap. Now if they just get rid of the... I mean, you guys that have been around for a while, you remember that forum post that was from Trendy and the developers saying... Eh, crap, alarm clock. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. There you go, FA, grats. How can it be a CC wall? It petrifies an enemy and all the mobs stop and attack it. What CC is anything that stops or deters the movements of enemies. Well, if they stop and are attacking their petrified friend, that's CC. That is the meaning of CC. That's what it is. That's what it means. Well, the training dummies being 20 DU definitely makes them pretty interesting. Yeah, it's a single target wall. It single targets and petrifies one enemy. All the other mobs around it stop and beat on that one enemy. I mean, that's how you'd CC. Now, if you're, like I said, if you're looking for effective CC, then you don't use a wall that doesn't have effective CC. That's something that you have to work out on your end. You know, that's like trying to melee with the Huntress. I mean, come on. Why? How come my Huntress won't melee? I'm up in their face. Well, that's just not how it works. Yeah, you can add elemental damage to Mystic Walls. The problem is they attack so slow. Is one of the issues with the Mystic Walls. Back when they attacked faster, they were just awesome. And you have to remember where the damage comes from. The Mystic Walls don't do damage when they shoot the bubble out. Monk polearm. They do the damage after the bubble pops and it rains down on enemies. So that's where the water damage would come into play, is after the bubbles popped. Well, assuming that's what you were talking about, was putting water damage on them. I mean, in my opinion right now, one of the best crowd control walls out there is the Skeletal Orcs. Make this the last one here. I gotta get out and get some things done before everything closes on me. Maybe, just maybe, can actually get something decent. Gonna take a hell of a grind to get that Penta 3, I got a feeling. Hopefully Trendy didn't remove that from the drop table. That would be really crappy. Depends on what wall you put it on. There you go, but yeah, I mean, you use water on any defense and storm on any other defense, it's going to create the electrocute combo. But remember, with walls, it's not going to apply that effect until the enemies are really close in most cases. It's what you do, Ross. When you load into a map and someone else is building, you drop the mana for them. That's the correct thing to do. If you want to build your own map, then start the map up yourself, load in, and you start building, and then people will drop the mana for you. But that's just standard, you know? It's where the conflicts come, is when people refuse to drop mana for each other, and everybody's got to have the EP battle over whose stuff is better, when both of their stuff is good enough to clear the map. Why not just build it out, knock it out, and get it done? If it worked with accumulator servo, that would work 7 cents, but I don't know if it does. People don't do it on PC too. I mean, it's the internet, you know. So I'll be honest here. First rule, everyone on the internet's a girl. Second rule, everyone on the internet is a girl with attitude. It's just how the internet works. Oh, I hear you, John. I don't see why they wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, you could re-roll everything else. Why not, you know? That would allow you to really fine-tune some builds, though, if you could re-roll the second stat. I've yet to find a candy pane that I wanted to. But I'd love to have be using one of those right now. Gots to have the candy pane during the holidays, right? Oh, there's no shortage to the grind. They could make it so that you could change your weapons, or change your secondary stats. They could make it so you could change your shot type. You're still gonna have a massive grind in the game. What's going on there, Ninja? See if it was lucky to get enough to at least get a decent 10 out of 10. I mean, that accumulator servo is decent. That'll let me set up a second set of walls for sure. That's one of the main mods I've been looking for on walls. Try to get a little more effectiveness out of them. It hasn't changed there, Hugo. Yeah, there's a PDC spotlight on my channel. Not many defenses changed. I mean, you're not going to want to go and rework all your defenses just because of the Drakenfrost spotlight, or the Drakenfrost update. I mean, you're going to want to add in the electrocute combo, and that's it. But you don't want to do that on all of your defenses. Just one, you know. Set it up for the one you use all the time. You got it there, and go with it. I did the weapon mans. Yeah, all that old gear does 7 cents, no doubt. You don't need the oil mod. Just burning strikes. The oil mod's not required. I found one. I found a 10 out of 10 here on stream earlier quick. That's why I was referring to that. But yeah, no oil required, just burning strikes. I don't have any oil right now. And just light it up. Well, there's two variations of the nuke monk, Ezzy. I'm using the last hit nuke. The pet nuke lost its effectiveness in high onslaught floors. Now, obviously, for what I'm doing here now, I could be using the pet nuke, no problem. Yeah, well, no different there, Norwegian. You know how that goes. The shard grind is the worst grind in the game. The shard grind is brutal. You have to be a person that likes to swap heroes back and forth a lot quick. It wouldn't do much for me because I usually don't swap a lot. Lightrayne likes to swap, so for him that would be like an awesome mod. But he swaps a lot. I'm using a grave infection. This is really good. But you have to play for it. It doesn't, it's not super effective unless you're spawn camping a lane basically with your monk. Alright, let's get out of here and go crack open all this stuff. See what we got. And of course, right as I'm about to go outside, it starts pouring the rain. I guess that's kind of how it works though, huh? Those spotlights are all exactly what I use, Rick. I haven't changed any of that stuff. If you're having troubles making it work, then it's going to be your placement or something. But I haven't changed any of that anti-frost stuff at all. I use the exact same stuff as what's in all those videos. I mean, the difference now is I've got a lot more ascension. But also, now I'm doing floor 280 something. Burning strikes, you don't get a big benefit from gilding it. I mean, mine's gilded. But the benefit is small. It doesn't increase the burn chance any. Alright, what we got, what we got? Oh man, it spilled over. Pardon me. Burping all over y'all. Let's see here. Nothing good there. Oh, I didn't even look. I didn't realize you were there, Omni. Sorry, man. Why didn't you build, damn it? I think that might actually work, be an upgrade on my barb, or no, it's not. I'm gonna keep it though. Ooh, Penta II. Ugh, terrible. Come on, 10 out of 10s. Let's see you. Show yourself. It's a pretty decent McDougars. I think I'll keep that just for testing. Nothing. Anyway, y'all, that is going to do it for today. I'm not positive yet. Like I said, I got some real life stuff to do. The Dragolich Ezzy will get... works with any hero. You buy it right over here from Homie. 7,500 Defender Metals. You want the Terror Dragolich egg. That's the best pet. Anyway, I'm not positive. I may or may not be back later on Twitch. Like I said, I've got some real life stuff to do, and I'm feeling a little beat down after eating like a pig yesterday. But thank you all so much for swinging by. I do appreciate y'all a ton. Yeah, the giveaway ends, I think, like on the 29th, maybe. You'd have to look at the video to see the exact date. So anyone that's not entered, it's the biggest DD2 giveaway to ever happen from any source. Got lots and lots of stuff being given away on that. So definitely get entered if you are not already. But thanks a ton, everybody. Everybody have, hopefully everybody had a good Christmas. And everyone have a wonderful holiday. I will see you soon. Take it easy.